Hey, OKCPS team and family. My name is Autumn Browning, and I'm a teacher at Star Spencer High School. I'm here today to explain the English 3 work for the continuing learning plan for week 2. I'm going to share my screen with you, and on the screen share, I'm just going to walk through how to access the materials digitally. If you have the paper packet in front of you, that's awesome. You can follow right along. So if you are accessing the materials online, first you'll just go to okcps.org and you'll click View Instructional Activities. It'll open a screen where down on the side you'll have all of the material, or all the subject areas, and classes that you might take. And today we're just focusing on English 3. When you open the English 3 tab, it'll open you to a screen that looks like this. And I just want to walk through the expectations that we have for you throughout the week. So we would like students to be doing 1 reading and 1 writing activity every single day, Monday through Friday. And then we would like you to be doing 1 to 2 vocabulary activities, 1 to 2 research and test prep activities, and 1 to 2 multimodal and speaking and listening activities per week. So we're going to walk through the activities. For the reading activity, we gave you a couple of different sample college admissions essays that different students have wrote. And we're just asking you to go ahead and tell us which one's your favorite and why. Or you can choose an article from NewsELA. And NewsELA is awesome because it's got a ton of current and relevant articles. When you open your home screen, I just click on News and it will open a tab where you will see a ton of different articles that have popped up for the week. And I'm going to click on an article that I think looks interesting to me. I'll read the article and I'll look through the different activities. They've given me both writing prompts and different multiple choice questions that I can take. They'll also provide me with the answers at the end of the quiz in order to make sure that my learning is on track. Another different reading activity you can do is the pre-selected article. And when you open the pre-selected article, you'll be reading about bubble tea is blowing up. After you read the article, there's a series of multiple choice and discussion or thought questions at the end. Another different reading activity that you can do is actually spend 20 minutes reading through the Metropolitan Library system if you don't have access to reading material at home. And that's the one card system, and it'll walk you through how to log on. The Metropolitan Library has a ton of awesome resources to use. These could look like different audiobooks, ebooks, comic books, magazines. They also have podcasts. They have streaming capabilities for different movies, so it's a really great free resource for you to use. Another option that you can do is you can read a biographical article about Frederick Douglass and think about the guiding and discussion questions. And then you can read a letter to Frederick Douglass a letter that Frederick Douglass wrote to Harriet Tubman. And again, think about responding to the guiding questions and the discussion questions. Those articles will be Common Lit articles. You'll see once you log into Common Lit, the article pops right up when you click on the link. And then over to the right, you can annotate your text, but you can also click on your guiding questions and your assessment questions, as well as your discussion questions. Your other options for reading for the week are reading an excerpt from the narrative of Frederick Douglass. I believe it's chapter 11 from Common Lit. And again, you're going to look back at those assessment and discussion and guiding questions. For your writing activities, remember we want you to be doing 1 of those a day. And try to write at least a full page or more when you're writing, so you get practice writing longer. This is especially important for senior year when we're gearing up, getting ready for AP exams, and we're getting ready for college entrance exams and just ready for college. So there's a list of different writing prompts that you can choose from. This is a great blog that has a ton of different creative writing prompts. Choose one that's interesting to you and write on it. You can also choose a pre-selected prompt, and the 5 pre-selected prompts are written on a document here. Other writing activities is writing a summary of what you read in 20 words, not more or less. Or you can write about the abolitionist movement to end slavery, and you could write about something in society that you would be willing to fight to end. What would the movement be called, and what would your fight look like? You could also start to write your own memoir. And remember, a memoir is a story about you, written by you, in your life. It's not your whole life story, but it's just a moment from your life or small memories from your life. So you can write a narrative about a specific time in your life that was important to you. For the vocabulary activities, there is an online vocabulary test, and this has a lot of great just different words for the ASVAB test, and that's also another test that you can practice studying for. And so if you click on the ASVAB link, it gives you all the information, and this is the entrance test for the military. Other options for the vocabulary are playing a couple different word games through this website, vocabulary.com, and there are 100 different words that students should know by the time they graduate. You can practice, you can do a spelling bee, or you can do a vocabulary jam activity. Other options include a 4-corner or 4-square activity, vocab activity about the word abolitionist. So this will look like the Frere models where you're describing what the word is, what the word is not, so characteristics associated, a drawing of the word, and using a word in the sentence that includes context clues. For your research and test prep, remember we want you to be doing 1 to 2 of those activities per week. And you can spend some time on the ACT Academy website. This is a really awesome resource for juniors that I use in my class all the time. They're test questions that look just exactly like you would take on the ACT. And if you go through Click, you'll open up your screen and it'll show you a dashboard that looks just like this. And it's the 4 subject areas that you're testing on. If you click on Explore Reading, for example, you can take quizzes in the different subsections that the test is based upon. Lastly, for your test prep and research section, you can practice summarizing and paraphrasing the articles that you've read throughout the week. You could also research the Underground Railroad online through a different article, through this article. And the article is all about the life of Harriet Tubman. And again, this is a common lit article that has questions and writing prompt and discussion questions at the end. And lastly, you could research more about Frederick Douglass to find more information about him as an activist. In order to do your multimodal literacy and your speaking and listening activities throughout the week, we're encouraging students to listen to podcasts. There's a really great website that has 26 podcasts for elementary school students. That's a link in the document. And as you get further down the list, the materials become more relevant to high school students. So for example, if you really like history, you might listen to the podcast Stuff You Missed in History Class. There's also a Stuff You Should Know podcast. Serial's a really famous podcast. There's a lot of really great ones that you might be interested in, so go ahead and check them out. And when you are finished listening to the podcast, you might want to write about it. You might want to read more about the specific topic. So it's up to you to kind of engage further in that. And then you might also choose an activity where you think about what you read and you relate a song to it. Another multimodal and speaking and listening activity is drawing a picture of what you read, and this could look like a storyboard, a character sketch or map, a timeline, but you just want to be artistic in how you represent yourself. And then lastly, you can watch the American Story of Us, Frederick Douglass, which is a History Channel mini documentary about Frederick Douglass, and you can draw a collage of images or words that reflect the life of Frederick Douglass. So you can just log on to YouTube, you'll watch the video, and then you'll go ahead and create your representation. I hope this helps explaining a little bit further. If you have any further questions, please reach out to your teachers. Know that we're all here to support you. We miss our students, and we hope you guys are all doing well. Have a great day.